Yo, what's goody with y'all, man? What's goody, man? Yo, this is Reef'Lik.
And this is Leaky.
And this is Reef'Lik. Anime Horror Gang. What's good with y'all, man? Got another video.
Today we're going to be reacting to Mr.ballen.
Yo, shout out to Mr.ballen, man. Mr.ballen's the GOAT, man. Yo, we love his videos, man. We're going to keep on doing them and stuff, man. You already know Mr.ballen's the G, man. He always come out with these crazy stories, man. We like him, so we're going to keep up with them.
So please like, comment, subscribe, and join our big happy family.
Yes, y'all. Join the family, man. Anime Horror Gang. Once you join the family over here, we're family for life, man. You're invited to the wedding. You're invited to the cookouts, man. Yo, we hope y'all enjoyed y'all Halloween, man. Like, we had a good time on Halloween and stuff, dressing like the Akatsuki. Yo, Leaky, we was fire.
Yeah, we was. Though.
We was fire that day. You know how many people took pictures with us? On their phones and stuff? We couldn't get to take pictures with everybody else because they was, like, rushing and stuff. But, yo, people took so many, like, pictures with us. And I hope, like, yo, it was lit. It was lit. Like, people was beeping their horns out their car, trying to get pictures with us and was shouting us out. I'm like, yo.
They liked it.
It was lit. And I hope y'all enjoyed y'all Halloween, man, because we had a good time. We was in the crib. I know we stayed in the crib and stuff, but I feel like we was in the crib chilling, eating pizza and wings. We had food. We was lit, and everything was fun. Oh, y'all. Me and Leaky, we been had our nails done, but what you think about my color? Yo,
mine.
I got teal, and he got purple. He was doing the Itachi thing, you already know. Me, I was trying to go for like a Haku type of color, but they ain't had like the green that Haku had, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to like bring my own nail polish in or something, like that's green like his. So I'm gonna have to, next time when we go up in there, I'm gonna like see what other colors they got, and I'm gonna just pick from the show. But yeah, I was trying to go for a Haku thing, and then all of a sudden I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, this don't. It looked like it on the fake nail, but now looking at it, I'm like, oh, it's teal. But me and Leaky always get our nails done like in certain occasions. We don't get them done all the time. We just get them done for certain occasions, like Halloween and stuff.
Yeah.
So I hope y'all had a good time. So please like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Let's begin this video, y'all, because we are very excited. We are very excited, y'all. So please like, comment, subscribe, join the family.
Join the family.
And let's begin.
In 2016, a couple was walking up this dirt path on this wooded hillside when they came up to this huge barbed wire fence. And all over this fence were signs saying no trespassing and warning people that what was on the other side of this fence was very dangerous. But the couple ignored these signs and slipped through a break in the fence to the other side and just kept on walking. Minutes later, that couple would come face to face with a monster. But before we get into that story, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story form,
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Me and Leaky was planning on doing investigations and stuff, and I hope when we do them, bro. Like I hope when we do them, I hope we don't really run into nothing or we get hurt doing this, because we've been hearing stories that when people go and do these investigations, people be getting hurt. Some crazy stuff be happening. I'm like, I'm not trying to be the group that gets caught up in some stuff while something is happening. Or I'm like, nah.
You know the thing about it, Reef, and the thing about it is, you never know what's really in there, though.
Yeah.
Like, it could be a whole nother person in there. You won't even know it.
It could be Jeepy Creeper up in there for all we know. I'm not, man.
Yeah.
That's why doing it is scary.
that's all we do, and we upload once a week. So, if that's of interest to you, please offer to do the like button's dishes, but be sure to leave all of the cups and bowls right side up inside of their dishwasher. So please subscribe to our channel and turn on.
Shout out to Mr.ballen.
Shout out to Mr.ballen.
Our weekly uploads. Okay, let's get into today's story.
Reef'Lik monster. What?
Reef'Lik monster.
While she was in high school in Dayton, Ohio, Raquel Bain became known as a bit of a thrill seeker, primarily because she would do something called car surfing, which is exactly what it sounds like. She would climb onto the exterior of cars and hold on to the roof while somebody else drove it around. In addition to seeking out these physical thrills, Raquel was also drawn to psychological ones, like going to places that were supposedly haunted and seeing if she could spook herself. Following high school, Raquel kind of calmed down and became less of the wild teenager she was known for being, and instead she really focused on building a life and a career for herself. And so she would go to college and she would earn her degree in surgical technologies, and then by 2009 she was employed full-time as a surgical assistant in Dayton. Also,
That's good.
around that time, she had her first child, a son, who she adored. But despite creating this life full of stereotypically adult, mature things like having a career and starting a family, deep down, Raquel was still very much the thrill-seeking wild teenager she was back in high school. But as an adult, she just never had time to go seek out those thrills. So, with that in mind, fast forward to April of 2016. By this point, Raquel is 26 years old, and that month, a very rare weekend
Not that long ago.
where Raquel did not have to work and she didn't have any childcare responsibilities. And so, wanting to take advantage of this free time, Raquel asked her boyfriend, 41-year-old David Nee, if he would join her on a road trip that weekend to Louisville, Kentucky, where Raquel wanted to check out the infamously scary Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Back in the 1900s, Waverly Hills was a place where tuberculosis patients were sent. Tuberculosis, or TB for short, is an infection of the lungs and it can be deadly. Today, there's a cure for it, but back in the early 1900s, there wasn't. And so most of the people who went to Waverly Hills died there, and usually very slowly and painfully and in total isolation from their families, because in virtue of being sent to Waverly Hills, they were effectively being quarantined to stop the spread of the disease. Waverly Hills would eventually shut down permanently in 1961, because by that point the cure had been found, and after it shut down, the building basically just sat there. Nobody else came in and turned it into anything else. And so this building is basically abandoned, and lots of people began sneaking in to see what it was like in there, and a shocking number of these trespassers reported seeing ghosts inside. Today, the sanatorium is still very much in the same condition it was left in, but the Waverly Hills Historical Society has stepped in and made it very hard for people to sneak into the building. However, knowing people do want to go in and look around, the Historical Society has begun offering guided tours of the sanatorium. And these tours are given exclusively at night to increase the spooky effect.
Oh, God.
And so David, who had only been dating Raquel for a month when she asked him to come with her to the sanatorium, he was not really that keen on doing this. It did not really appeal to him to go walking around this totally terrifying place. But he could tell it was important to Raquel. She was really excited about it. And so he agreed to go. A few days later...
Yeah, until something crazy happened.
Yeah, I get you right there, man.
It's like that thrill, and that, like, you want that thrill.
It's like that itch you just can't scratch, though.
The new couple left Raquel's place. They climbed into the car.
What the heck you just said?
Well, it's like that itch you just can't scratch. What?
Yo, that's just so random. I never heard that.
And they began driving south. 3 hours later, they arrived in Louisville and they stopped to get dinner.
All right, let's get back to it.
They looked at the time and realized it was only about 6:45 p.m. and the tour they had scheduled at the sanatorium was...
Oh my goodness, bro! Why did you say that? Now I can't even pay attention. Oh, all right, let me try.
I'm sorry, man.
Kill. And before David could suggest anything, Raquel already had the perfect idea of how they should kill this time. She told David that earlier that day she had learned about a spot just outside of Louisville that might actually be more terrifying than the sanatorium they had come all this way to see. And so Raquel wanted to spend these few hours checking out this new spooky spot. This spooky spot was a rickety old, narrow, abandoned-looking bridge.
Nah.
Reef'Lik trestle.
I don't trust that.
East of downtown Louisville in
That thing looks so unstable,
the bridge is
man.
about 800 feet long, and at its highest point, right in the middle of the bridge, it It's about 90 to 100 feet off the ground.
Woo!
And this bridge connects the tops of two of the bigger rolling hills in the area. But the bridge's physical appearance has nothing to do with why it's considered so spooky. The reason the Reef'Lik trestle has become a central part of Kentucky folklore is because locals say there is a monster called the Reef'Lik monster that lives underneath the bridge. It's half goat, half man, and when
What the
hear this bridge
What is
at
that?
night,
Oh,
Yo.
can you imagine you go in the woods and you see this?
Yeah, I would just start running, man.
Oh,
Like, what is that?
bridge, and then what happens next is very ambiguous. It kind of depends on who you're talking to, but generally speaking, once the Reef'Lik monster has emerged and it sees you, you're dead. Now,
Wow.
how you die ranges from the monster leaping out and attacking you with an axe to the monster using some sort of mind control to lure you up onto the bridge where you leap off. David, after hearing this suggestion, was again not really that keen to go do this really terrifying sounding thing, but seeing the excitement in his girlfriend's face, he agreed to go. And so the two left the restaurant, they climbed back in the car, and they drove for about 15 or 20 minutes to the Reef'Lik Trestle Bridge. The bridge actually passed over a relatively main road, and so the couple parked just off the side of this main road, and then once they were outside, they began looking for a pathway up this hillside to get up to the bridge. And very quickly, they found a well-worn dirt path that snaked up the side of this wooded hillside that looked very much like it would bring them up to the bridge. So with Raquel in front and David behind her, they began walking up this dirt path. And as they're walking, they start to see signs that clearly say, no trespassing. But they ignore them because they're looking at this path thinking, okay, lots of people clearly come up here, so we've got to be okay. And so they keep on walking up this path, and they're getting closer and closer to the top of this hill where they think it's going to connect with this bridge. And right as they're getting close, they see there's this huge chain link fence, this 8-foot tall chain link fence with barbed wire across the top that extends.
yeah, I
either
feel
direction.
like I will even.
And so the couple
Yeah,
walks
that's
up to this
made to
fence,
keep
and there
people
are more
out.
signs that say no trespassing, private property, and there are additional warning signs saying that what is on the other side of this fence is also just plain dangerous. So turn around and leave.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like if I have to climb, do all that extra climbing to get to where I have to get to, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it really ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it,
Like,
bro.
I can understand that, though.
Like, I feel like, dude, if it's too difficult to get to where we have to get, I'm not doing it no more.
Mm-hmm.
The smartest way to hire.
Bump that.
As Raquel and David are staring at all these signs and this fence, they see, not far from the path, somebody had clearly bent two of the fence posts and created a narrow gap in the fence that you could slip through. And so from David and Raquel's perspective, that looked like the way other trespassers must have found their way up to the bridge, and so it must be safe. And so once again, the couple disregarded all the warnings. They made their way over to this gap in the fence, they both slipped through, and they kept on walking up the hill. Just a couple of minutes later, they reached this clearing, which was at the top of this hill, and once they were in this clearing, they were able to turn, and they could actually see the bridge. It was only a couple hundred feet away from them, and it was totally intimidating. By this point, it's totally dark out, and from their perspective, all they see is this very narrow bridge that they know is 100 feet off the ground at certain points, and they can see there's no guardrails on either side of this bridge. It would have almost looked like a tightrope kind of extending off into the darkness. But even if the couple was really intimidated by the sight of this bridge and with all these warning signs before it, they were able to put their fear aside and just keep on going. And so with David now in the lead and Raquel behind him, they walked the couple of hundred feet over to the start of this narrow bridge, and when they got there, without actually stepping onto the bridge, David came to a stop, he turned around to face Raquel, and he gestured for her to come stand next to him so they could take a selfie with the bridge in the background. Because David, at this point, is thinking, we're not going to go on this bridge. We're just going to look at this bridge, take some pictures, and then we'll go.
Yeah.
But Raquel, who he's looking at, gesturing to come stand with him, just walks right past him onto the bridge and takes several steps out onto this narrow
Oh,
brick
man.
thing. And then she stops, turns around, and gestures for David to come with her and walk across the entire bridge.
Nah.
David,
Nah, that's too
again,
much
is
Nah,
right
that
there.
you're bugging now.
He sees Raquel wants to do this, and so he agrees to go.
Oh,
After they had walked
damn.
100, maybe 200 feet across this bridge, the two of them just started laughing.
Okay, at some point you gotta tell your chick like, okay, like you're bugging, like you're bugging. Now I'm not doing that. Like
That's man.
Like, you're bugging.
What they were doing. Not so much the quest for the Popelick monster, but rather the very real risk they were taking walking this tightrope bridge in the middle of the night. The couple would continue.
and at night too. That's what make it bad.
You couldn't hardly see nothing out
So
there.
if you make a misstep, you're done.
Highest point from the ground, the bridge itself begins to shake.
In New York, we get out to the game.
Like it's the high. Like it's just it's dark.
Elections don't come around very often. And they can change the course of history.
Vote by November 8th. Let's make it count.
How does Popeye's chicken sandwich get so crunchy, juicy, and tasty? We make everything with love.
And then from behind them, they hear this loud grinding sound. And so the couple, they whip their heads around, and they see there are these two bright, glowing lights that are looking right at them all the way on the start of the bridge. And they realize it's a train. When Raquel and David walked over the fence and reached the top of the hill and could actually see the Popelick Trestle Bridge, they would have also seen the train tracks in the hillside that clearly extended onto the Popelick Trestle and went across the bridge.
So you telling me there's a oh no.
This was
Oh,
There's a
no.
whole train coming.
But it's assumed that the couple who didn't live in the area and so didn't know much about the Popelick Trestle, it's assumed they thought, well, this is a train bridge, but it's got to be abandoned. It certainly looks abandoned, and it does. It looks totally old. It does not look active, even though it is. Or the couple thought, well, this is just an old train bridge. It might be active, but surely no train is going to come through anytime soon. We can get across the bridge before a train arrives. But, of course, they were wrong. When the couple turned around and saw these two headlights bearing down on them, they quickly realized they would not be able to outrun this train. The train's
Oh, yeah, you're-
trying to
no.
stop. It has seen them. It's hitting its brakes. It's sounding its horn, but it's just clearly moving too quickly. So they cannot run to the other side to safety. And because this bridge was meant for a single train to pass through, there was no other track they could just jump onto to avoid being hit. And there were no walkways on either side of this railway. And so literally all they had was the track that this train was going to cross over, and they were on it. And so with no other choices, David yells to Raquel that they have to climb down and hang off the side of this bridge. Now, there were these wooden slats that ran underneath the rails. They ran perpendicular to the rails, and these wooden slats kind of extended.
Yeah, you
off
gotta
the edge
think
of the
quick.
bridge on either side, just a couple of inches. And so, in theory, if you were holding
You gotta
onto
think
the
quick.
outside of one of these wooden slats and kind of dangling off the edge of the bridge,
And then imagine if you're like not athletic enough to hold on to it for that long. Like
that is scary.
like that,
right
y'all.
there.
Please make sure you're in physical shape, and please go to the gym and stuff, y'all, because like there could be a situation that you might need to really pull yourself up. And then imagine if you do hang over that railing thing, you can't pull yourself up.
It's like in some situations it requires like
Oh.
strength, though, man.
Or just like you, please just go to the gym.
Yes.
Keep yourself in shape. Like, cause you don't know when a situation's gonna come up that you might need to be in shape for. You know what I'm saying? Like, please keep yourself
a
up.
train could cross those tracks and not run over your hands or fingers. You would just have to hold on that whole time as the train is
I'll be
rolling.
so
And
scared.
he flops down onto his stomach, and he's trying to lower himself as fast as he can as this train is getting closer and closer, and he's yelling for Raquel to do the same thing, but she's not really moving very quickly. And finally, David, he gets in position. He's hanging off the edge of this bridge on these wooden slats, and he sees Raquel. She's not quite there, and then the train comes flying through. It strikes Raquel and sends her flying off the bridge to the ground below. David would somehow manage to hold on the whole time as this train went past him, and then once the train had passed him, he pulled himself back up onto the tracks, he ran the rest of the way across the bridge, he went down that hillside, and when he found Raquel, it was immediately apparent that she was deceased. In the end, the railroad was not issued any citations or sued for negligence. It was determined they did their due diligence by setting up that 8-foot-tall barbed wire fence with all those signs telling people to stay back and warning people about the hazards of going past this fence. And so it was actually David who got in trouble for this tragedy. He was cited and charged with a felony of unlawfully disrupting and or delaying a train causing financial damages. He would plead to a lesser charge of trespassing and would be fined $2,300. Shockingly, this tragedy is just one of many that have occurred on the Reef'Lik Trestle Bridge. Since the bridge's construction in the 1800s, there have been dozens of people who have died on this bridge, and several.
And it's like, y'all, I know y'all seeking for a thrill, but like, come on, like, just look at the sign, y'all. I feel like there should be a certain point in your mind to be thinking like, okay, this is not good, because I feel like if I go this far, something crazy is gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like, man,
It's
somehow the thing about it is if it's dangerous, man, just don't go, man.
it's just, come on, like,
It's not worth it.
like, come on, like, have some sense. Rest in peace to her, but come on, like, have some sense, y'all. Like, I know people seeking a thrill, but come on, y'all. Is it really worth that? For a thrill? Like, you could do something else for a thrill. Like skydiving. I rather would have did that than this. Come on, y'all. Like, this just, oh my God. And it's not even, they're not the only ones that, it was more people that did this. Like, y'all, what is it going to take for y'all to just stop going through that? They're putting up barbed wire fences, gates, and signs to tell y'all to stay out, and y'all still go. Like,
Deaths, many of them fairly recent,
That's sad.
so years, have occurred under the same conditions as Raquel's. People went looking for the Reef'Lik monster and then were struck by a train. So that's going to do it. If you got something out of today's episode and you haven't done this already, please offer to do the like button's dishes, but be sure to leave the cups and bowls right side up in their dishwasher. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. We now have a podcast called the Mr.ballen Podcast that puts out brand new exclusive stories.
yo, y'all, like, rest in peace to her. Rest in peace to her and all the victims that all that happened to with the bridge and stuff. That's sad.
I know.
Like, I know people do be out here trying to have fun and stuff, but it's like, is that really worth losing your life though? Just to have a little bit of fun and just get wild?
No.
I rather would have like just hung on to the back of the car with my skateboard and just went crazy, you know? But I just feel like some of that stuff be like too much. Like them people that be like on the top of the big like buildings and they just be doing parkour and stuff. That's dangerous too. I'm like that. I'm like one wrong slip and you're done.
Yeah.
Like this stuff be, y'all please be careful if you are having fun and you're like the adventurous type of people, because I feel like crazy things will happen and you gotta be cautious of it. I feel like you have to know when like certain things is your limit. You know what I'm saying? Like certain things gotta be your limit, because if you don't put that in your head, then something crazy is gonna happen and it seems like you're gonna really regret it. And it's gonna be too late by then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like, man, when you're trying to do, man, these, what you call stuff for adrenaline, man, some of them are, man, not good, man.
Like some things, it's like you gotta think like come on now, like this ain't smart. Even if we did stuff with our friends, they gonna say, all right, y'all, we ain't going up in there. That's too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, man, that's sad. That's very sad. But yeah, y'all, that's the video for today, y'all. Shout out to Mr.ballen.
Yeah, shout out.
This one was like crazy. Because there's still people that do be doing stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to her. Please send y'all prayers and condolences to the family and stuff. And to her boyfriend, because that is sad. Losing a loved one is just too much. It's too much. And like, man, please be aware if y'all are having fun, like, please know your limits and like, please be cautious because things like this could be prevented, but it's, man, it just happens, man. But yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. Join Anime Horror Gang. Be a part of our family, man. We would love for y'all to be a part of our family so we can entertain y'all every week. We love entertaining y'all and bringing some more content to y'all. We love y'all so much, man. Please join Anime Horror Gang. We're going to see y'all later, man, to the next reaction.
See you later.
Deuces.
Deuces.
Peace.